Shalom Akim, I'm going to give all praises and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakah, Kadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of GMS who teach it and rule well. And salutation to all the Akim, all four corners of earth who's pushing his truth and sincerity. Shalom Akim. I want to get into this little video, this little article I seen yesterday. That, just showing the times that we're in once again, man. He has this clandestine plan to push his agenda. And while he's pushing this agenda, these heathen nations, they're falling all in for it. These heathens are all for Eve's plans and will go head over heels. India was a hotbed about 2-3 years ago, well, solid 5 to 10 years ago for the polio. And I remember doing a video about it. And, the polio vaccine, the CDC or whichever one of these alphabet groups came out with the supposed, they came out with a supposed dose for the people over in India to take. They would get rid of it. But what did they see? Instead of it going a decline, they seen an incline in it. The cases were going up. The people who you were supposedly curing were getting more and more jacked up. And people were over there having noodle legs. They couldn't even walk without their legs going in 3 or 4 different directions, So they were having to deal with that, man. And long story short, they ended up chasing doctors, NGO doctors out of the towns. They ended up chasing the actors. They came and did film commercials because the actors were some of the number one people promoting this stuff. And that's how this is just everything scripted. And the same thing happens here in Babylon. Actors promote this cootie stuff. They promote you going to take that pokey so you get rid of the cooties, supposedly. When if you know anything and do your history, just look on the back of Lysol cans from days past. If you have one in your grandparents' closet or something, from the 80s or 90s, 2000s, and it'll tell you the same thing was on there, and they got rid of it, man, because we know that this isn't something simple to get rid of. But like I say, he has a clandestine plan, and he has to drop the population. And so what he's doing is he's having these people think that they're really sick off of something and having them go to these different medical institutions and basically just taking the air right out of these people, man. With faulty machines hooking up to them and all different things, man. And they have the Pokemon they want them to get. And brothers is putting up videos how they turn, people are turning to magnetos all of a sudden, man. So, this devil, he has a big plan out here, and he has short time but the plan to do it. But let me get into this article. It says Indian doctors warn against using cow poo as a cooties cure. And so the heathen, man, they'll believe in anything, man. And but it's not too far fetched. Like I say, they are in E's agenda, so they're gonna do whatever he tells them to do, and he'll administer to his people, man. So he says, as cooties ravages India, some have taken to rubbing cow feces and urine on their bodies as a way to fight the virus. Wow. Jeremiah 10:2, this saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen, man. We can't do what the heathen do, man. We are, and this leads to the conversation I was having. I asked the 7-Eleven worker, Elamite, last night, how did he feel about this? And he said, those are the crazy people over there in India doing this, this, and that. Because mind you, India is broken into a caste system. They also have Muslims and Hindus over there, and so they really in their heart believe that if you either one or the other, then you're better than the other, and this and that to the third. So he so happened to be a Muslim. And so we were talking for a second, and I was asking him about the untouchables, And if you know anything about the untouchables, those are, I believe that those are scattered seed of Israelites over there, because of the way they're treated. They're at the bottom caste system. They're the worst of the worst. He was telling me how if an untouchable touches a cup, you can't touch the cup behind him. If he touches anything, you don't want to touch anything behind him. And I was trying to explain to him those, are the scattered seeds, man. And we know that through just going. That's my opinion, man. Because I also have a Moabite guy. He looked like he was a Moabite, he was from China, and come to find out, he was over here on school visa, and he said the Chinese people don't like his people, and so I told him to elaborate, and he was like, they know that we're different, and when I tell you the word, we were out there just preaching, he just heard us preaching and seen the sign, and the word to pull you in, it reeled him in, and he came back, and he he was trying to walk away, but he couldn't. The word just pulled him, and it consumed him. And he pulled out his Bible right when we were talking. So he started going word for word and started getting clearer understanding. Because that's the thing, when we're out here on the highways and byways, we are preaching his word, man. We are the Lord's mouthpiece. We're the teachers. We are these answers that some of these people are looking for, but they didn't know how to answer, how to word the question. They didn't know how to answer. The preacher man wasn't gonna give them an answer, because when you go to church, you just gotta listen to him. You can't answer preacher man. You can't ask preacher man nothing. You can even go to his chambers. He still can't give you the answers for nothing, man. But let me stick to this article. So it says these people are putting feces and urine on their face, trying to get rid of this cooties, right? So learn not the way of the heathens, man. So stay out of the way of those heathens, man. And what they do. One more thing that our women, they like to put these little dots on their hands, and that came within the last few years. And I remember I seen a chick do that, and I thought it was a disease or something on her hand when I first seen it. So I freaked out. But nowadays, the nigga woman, they love to do that stuff. So learn not the way of the heathens. Lucky. This says doctors are warning against the practice, saying there's no proof it boosts immunity or helps treat cooties. There are also health risks involved in smearing or consuming these products. Other diseases can spread from the animals to humans. Where has this happened at in history once again, man? He says Dr. J.A. Janali, national president of Indian Medical Association, told recruiters in Hinduism the cow is a sacred symbol of life and earth. Some residents of Gonja in the western part of the country have been visiting cow shelters to rub the excrement on their bodies and then hug or honor the cows while their mixture dries. When it does, it is washed off with milk or buttermilk. And here's a picture of these people doing that, And once again, here's a killer part. He says India has been hit with more than 22 million cases of the cooties and over 246,000 deaths. Although experts say the numbers could be much higher, parts of the country have struggled to keep up with the demand for hospital space, oxygen, and PPE supplies. A week ago, I seen those people that was over there. They was in the car. They was treating them in the car. The hospitals were so overpacked. They was treating them in the cars and stuff, man. As soon as they pull up in the car, just give them an oxygen tank and keep them in the car. He ain't got to come in. That's how they doing them over there, man. But here you see these guys. They got the poo all over them, man. But at the same time, like I say, our people are spread amongst these people, man. And I was the point I was going into a story about Elon at the store, at the 7-Eleven worker, and I was telling him about the untouchables over there, and he went off into Muslim and this and that, and I was trying to explain to him, I don't have to try to explain, but what I know is that the Bible predates anything that he's talking about, and I let him know that he was one of the nations of the Bible. He was from the tribe of Elam. He didn't even know that, and it was just jacking him up. He had to pull out his phone and start Google searching some of the things I was telling him, man. But yeah, so this is the point I was making. So this is Deuteronomy 4:27. And the Lord shall scatter you among the nations, and you shall be left. You should be left few in number among the heathen, or the Lord shall lead you. And yes, we are amongst some of these heathens over here, So when we, look at these people and laugh at times, we just pray for the remnant of the scattered elect that are over there, of our people, man. Because they're going to look like these Indians. And that was the point I was making to my mans last night, man. My people are going to look like yours. But it's the spirit. The spirit bears witness, man. Are you doing what these heathens are doing? Are you eating what they're eating? Who are you praying to, These are the things that you ask. That's how you separate things. He says, Dr. Fauci, President Biden's chief medical advisor, said the country needs to build up the equivalent of field hospitals and work with other countries to ramp up production and distribution. But yeah, these heathens, basically, that was, in a nutshell, just seeing them do this sick stuff. And I seen this last night and went to 7-Eleven and I asked one of them, do they do that? And he said, man, that's the sick ones to do that. So, you know, just letting you know, just letting you know. And then at the end of the day, all those deaths that are happening over there, that's the Lord's will. Let me read this out. This Psalm 79 and 6. Pour out thy wrath upon the heathen that have not known thee. See, these heathen don't know the Lord, man. And the Lord gave them over to their own wicked desires at the same time. But, this is what they do, man. This is why we cannot be amongst these people like that, man, as far as interacting and trying to marry into them and just, trying to live their lifestyle. This is what they do, man. Why would you want to do that, man? You know? And upon the kingdoms that have not called upon thy name. These people ain't calling upon the Lord's name, man. They got millions of gods, Hinduism does, man. And a bunch of these other heathen religions and stuff like that, man. What is Moab? They believe in their ancestors and stuff like that. They worship their ancestors and other just weird stuff. You see also these heathens worship the cow, man. So they worship the creation, not the creator, man. The Heavenly Father created these things, man. But y'all worship those things, man. So that's why we have to wait for the Lord to come back, because these days are going to get very, very sick and evil. And we're seeing the sickness right now with these dudes rubbing poo on them and pee from a cow. But I just wanted to bring this article out. I hope it was edifying. Shalom, Maki.